keep pressing the wrong thing.
It's okay. We're in it now.
Okay.
But anyway, welcome back to episode 4 of This Is Your Alibi. We're so excited that you're here with us. In this episode, we will be talking about lamenting the life you never had, experiencing loss from that lamentation, and societal expectations. It's going to be a fun one. Come through.
For the girls and the boysies.
Yeah, for the girl. I always forget about the boysies. But we hope you enjoyed this one. Let's get into it.
Okay. Am I leading this one? Do you want to lead this one? Do you know what questions? Because I just ask questions on the spot, and clearly that works. Do you want to try?
I'm going to try.
Okay,
but
okay.
you can just take over, obviously, if it's not
Okay.
working.
I'm happy with it.
Okay, so today... Stop laughing.
Sorry.
I'm trying my best here.
You're doing a great job.
After like 3 words, thank you. I appreciate the support. So today, we're talking about lamenting the life we never had and will never have.
Ooh, okay, that one's a bit deeper
It's
than
deeper?
I expected.
Okay, so we're going to take it back.
No, it's fine, we can. I don't mind.
Okay. Well, it's never is very strong. I
Okay.
think never is a strong word because life can always change. Life isn't for sure. But like, I feel like you in your own capacity can kind of see when things aren't going to happen for you.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Life changes. Lamenting the life we never had.
Okay. Now explain
So-
to the girlsies and boysies what that means.
Okay. So, you know how sometimes you'll think, I'm going to be... Oh, it's a perfect example. When I used to be younger, I thought I was going to be married by 24.
Sorry.
That reaction.
That was a very loud ha. I apologize for being so rude.
It's giving... Have you seen the Kevin Hart when he was like, you're 50? Oh, I don't remember
Oh,
what he said.
yes! Damn!
No, it's like, damn, yeah. So that's what it's giving. But yeah, I thought I was going to be married by like 24. And at this point, I should have like a kid or maybe...
And you don't even
like,
maybe want kids.
Girl, that's a whole thing. So, lamenting the life I never had. Imagine I felt bad about that. Like, I felt like I should have been married at this point, and I should have kids, or I should be living alone at this point. We're sort of like being sad about the life that you wish you had, but you don't.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. No. I'm
Okay.
with you.
Is that a good explanation? I'm not the words lady. You're the words lady.
No, I wasn't going to use the word guilty. I was going to say we're just considering if we had made a different decision, where would our life be currently?
Okay,
Would it be the life that we preferred, or would it be the life that we don't?
That's an interesting perspective. Only because I feel like some of it is because we don't have a choice.
Right.
So, for example, okay, let's actually get into it.
Go for it.
So, I know you and I relate to this in the sense of, like, wanting to have our own place.
Yes.
Like our own apartment. Whether together or individually, whatever.
Just not living with our parents.
Just not living with our parents.
Yeah.
So we're both living with our parents, right? Honestly, I'm very grateful for it because I don't have to pay rent.
God, it's expensive.
It's living is
Hindsight.
expensive.
Oh my word.
But I don't have to pay rent. I don't pay bills. I contribute here and there because, like, I mean, come on, really?
Yeah.
You're not gonna contribute. I contribute here and there, but the big things, my parents sat me down and they were like, we don't expect you to do all this. You're our kid. We chose to have you. So you don't have to do that. You will move out when you're ready. Well, not necessarily when I'm ready. I feel like if I never moved out, they'd be happy with that. But I think I've just decided I'll either move out if I get a job like that I just can't commute to, or if I get married.
Right, yeah.
Right? So those are the only 2 reasons for me that makes sense to move out.
Yeah.
For now, I can like save money and stuff. But I wish I had my own apartment. No one is calling me to, hey, come do this. Come fix this. Can you make dinner? If I just don't feel like it, I'm just going to order in. But I can't do that right now.
Yeah.
Well, I could, but like, it's a whole argument to get there. You know, there's certain things I would just have a lot more independence. And not to say I don't have any. Like, I can literally go out and come back anytime. I can go wherever I want with whoever I want. My parents don't restrict me. But it's different when it's just you by yourself in your own house and you don't feel this. As much as they don't restrict me, I feel like I should be home before the sun sets.
Yes, yeah.
You know, I feel like I should do that. They don't expect me to.
Yeah.
But I, in myself, just feel it's a bit disrespectful to walk into the house at midnight,
I think it also, the idea of lamenting the life you never had kind of lends itself to the idea of a main character. It's like, how am I supposed to be a main character if I'm still living at home?
Yeah, it's not
Like,
making sense.
If I have to be home before midnight as well, because midnight is when my security system goes on automatically, so I have a curfew essentially.
Yeah.
Not that I don't mind, because what on earth would I be doing?
Honestly, I'm
past
never out
midnight?
past midnight. Yeah. But still,
It's like the principle.
I want the option to be out past midnight.
I want the option to be able to say, oh, I've lived at home, I've lived by myself, and I preferred living at home. We don't get that option.
No, we don't. We really don't. And I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we are in a very privileged and good place.
Let's not take that lightly.
Yeah.
Like, we understand that there are people out there who cannot say what we can say, who have not experienced what we have experienced. And for no love or money do we take that for granted. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, like, regardless, we still feel this way.
Yes.
Right. And it's okay. It's okay to feel that way, because we are not resenting our lives.
No,
I
not
love
at all.
my life.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for it. However, I do wish I had my own apartment right now. And I do wish, I mean, it comes with its own things, like, so bills, groceries, Wi-Fi, all of that. We understand that, but it's still nice
decorating your own apartment.
Dude,
going on Mr. Price Home and Superbalist and picking out a color couch that your mom would never have allowed.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know? Like hanging things on the walls because that's allowed. Like all these different things because you told yourself when you were growing up, when I grow up, I'm gonna want X, Y, and Z and A, B, and Z, unlike what my parents allow for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's, I think, for me, has been the biggest one. I just wish I could live by myself. And I just want to be called every 2 seconds. I don't want, like, the responsibility of being the homemaker when my mom is not around. I understand that I'll be a homemaker for myself, but at least it's for myself.
Yeah, you've
and
got
it's
a
not
choice
for my
in the
family.
matter. Yeah.
It's not for my family. Maybe it'll be just me and my pets or something, and that's fine. I think it comes from, like, wanting complete control over my own life.
Yeah.
Not that I'm controlled in any way. So it's just it's a very funny feeling because, like, we aren't restricted.
No.
Not really. Like, we're actually not restricted. We could do whatever we wanted. But it still doesn't feel fully free because, again, at the back of your head, you're like, yo, if my parents find out I have 5 bottles of gin in the house, for example.
Speaking of which, my one friend keeps alcohol under his bed.
Dude, you see?
Because his mom doesn't allow him alcohol in the house.
Exactly. And it's not like you're an alcoholic or a drunkard or anything. No, maybe you just want a cute little cocktail at the end of the day or something. But you can't just be fully yourself. For me, I think I just want the space. It's not even about all of that. I just want the space. I just want to sit and not expect someone to call me. I don't want to have to wake up at 7 a.m. to make breakfast for people. I don't even eat breakfast at 7. I actually will probably have lunch and dinner. I have to wake up every day and, like, do all the things. I don't want to have to, like, do the dishes, because if I don't do the dishes, my mom is going to have a fit, like, directly after dinner.
Yeah.
If I feel like maybe the dishes should, like, spend an hour in the sink before I'm ready to do them, I can't do that here.
Yeah.
You know? I can't do that here. So I want the option to just, like, do things the way I want to do them without someone side-eyeing me, or without me guilting myself to be home early when I still want to be out.
Yeah.
And if you come from an African family, you already know. Where are you coming from at 9 p.m.? You know.
Who are you visiting?
Whomst? Whomst were you with? And I think that has helped also in getting, like, a lot of independence from them. I'm very honest with my parents.
Yes.
I tell them more than they need to know, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, they don't need to know everything, but because they do, they know who I'm with, where I'm at, all of that. But still, I still feel like I wish I had my own apartment.
I'm gonna try and say something, but I'm still figuring out the whole thing in my head. Right. So when I say it, it's speaking under correction at a later stage once I've figured out what I want to say.
Of course.
But do you maybe also think that the idea of lamenting what you don't have or what you could have had is also your body experiencing loss?
It's very interesting. It's very interesting perspective.
Yeah.
Loss of what? Of that life?
Of that life. if you have to look back at every decision, okay, well, not every decision, like between pizza or Simply Asia or whatever, but like, if you look at all the big life decisions, so for me, for example, between staying in my hometown or moving to a new province, if I had made the other decision, would I be in my own flat? Would I have a boyfriend? Would I be married? Like, what would
so
that life look like, you know? If I chose to stay at my job, what would that look like? Like, would I be unhappier? Would things have resolved?
Dude,
you
that's
know?
actually very interesting, and that then applies to like every aspect of your life. Like, if I stayed in that relationship, would I be married?
Exactly.
Would I have a kid?
Like,
would I be happy?
And it opens the door to such existentialism that I don't have the capacity to handle. But my brain can't help but go there.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like your body is literally... well, you're making your body because you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
But now you're experiencing loss for something you've never had. How do you deal with that?
That's such an interesting, like, perspective as well, because for me it was never that deep.
I really...
that
for me, it's
like
always been that
problem.
deep.
It was never that deep for me.
Sounds like a you
because,
problem.
Yeah.
So now you're bringing your you problems to the podcast.
Oh, well. No, for me
Laugh
it was...
out.
Laugh out loud. It was never that deep for me. So I actually don't know how to answer that, because, I mean, that is super interesting. I think for me, the one I experienced maybe that kind of feeling was the whole apartment thing, because I genuinely just wanted to live alone. I think
we based this whole podcast on Sophia's want to live alone.
Because I think I was just tired of everyone calling me. Be like, hey, do this. Can you make dinner? Can you do this? Can you go there? Go pick this up for me. I just got sick of it. But anyway, it's fine. I'm not paying rent. I'm grateful. Okay, maybe a way to deal with it is like looking at the positive aspects of the life you currently have. Maybe placing yourself in the other person's shoes. We always say people want what they don't have.
Yes.
So think about the people that have what you think you want, right? A person who what was one of the hectic things you just told me? You said quite a lot.
Now you know how it feels to live
in your hometown.
Now you know how it feels to live in my brain.
Oh, girl, I don't want to visit things. If you stayed in your hometown, think about, because I mean, I'm sure you have like people you grew up with that are still there. You know, what is it? Is your hometown, is there anything special about it?
Nothing.
You see, like, so then, what about them? They're probably bored out of their minds.
Yeah.
Or if they have their own apartments, like, it's not a very eventful, like, is that
it always comes back to the apartment.
I'm sorry. Take a shot every time I say apartment. You're going to be sloshed by the end of this. But, like, what life are they experiencing? And do you think that would have made you happy? So I think maybe shifting your perspective to the person who maybe has the kind of life that you think would have been better for you might like clear some things up.
And I think also I'm like puzzling this out. I'm building the puzzle as we go. But I think also like just the situation that I'm currently in well is why I'm thinking so much about the past.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Like not necessarily that I'm unhappy where I am, but it's just maybe, I don't want to say it and then like I make myself cry, but maybe I'm just not in a space where I feel 100% content with where I'm at, you know? As much as my mental health is very grateful for all the decisions that I've made thus far, it's not where I thought I would be.
And you know, that's funny, Michaela, it sounds hilarious coming from you, and I don't mean to demean what you've just said.
Sounds like you do.
No, I genuinely don't, but you aren't even 23.
I know!
And that is what's funny to me, is that you are so young, and what you're feeling is very normal for
I
your
have
age.
my whole life ahead of me.
You quite literally do.
Uh-huh.
I am geriatric, and I'm like, I'm not geriatric, I'm also really young still.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what's funny, because we have so much life to live. And sometimes society puts on all these pressures, like, oh, at 18, especially like, for example, in the North, you need to move out of your parents' house. Or 22, you should have your degree and be working and live alone and start finding a wife or a husband. No, life doesn't need to look like that. And it's okay to not be content, because that means you're going to actively work towards what it is that you want. And you still have so much time. But your feelings are still valid.
Yeah.
Of course. but don't let them like rule how you view your life. You know, it's okay to not be content, but like don't be depressed about it because you feel like you're gonna die tomorrow. That's not happening. You're literally 22 years old, almost 23, almost 23. But you know, like you have so much life ahead of you, and so do I. Like you and I have quite an age difference, but it's not that deep. How many years is it? 4 years. 4 years. It's not that deep. Not that deep. Like I'm laughing, saying, "Oh, I used to think I would be married by 24." When I got to 24, I didn't even want to look at a man. I didn't want a man to look at me. Right. And I'm like, imagine if I was married, and I've been lately.
Oh, here we go.
It's about to be I've been looking at people's marriages. Like,
oh no.
People that I know, I've been like just observing them.
This cannot be good.
No, it's fine. So what I've then done is, because there was a time I was thinking, oh man, I could have been married right now. I wish I was. I was lamenting the fact that I wasn't married at this point. But at the same time, I'm freaking 27 years old, okay? I am not, it's not too late. And there is no such thing as late anyway. Yeah. So, I've been looking at people's marriages, and people are in the pits. Hey? People are in the pits of hell, and it's not cute there by Marriage Land for some people. Right? Other people, yes.
Marriage Land is right next to Minty B City.
It is. It really is their neighbors. They have a conjoined wall and everything. So, I then felt no pressure to rush it, because I'm like, I know some of these people's marriages were just rushed, and look at them now. Yeah. They quite literally hate each other. Some people. And others are really having a good time because they took their time with it, and you take time to really know yourself so you can find someone who complements that. Right. And that stopped my lamentation of, oh man, I wish I was married at 24. I don't wish that anymore. I'm like, I could get married at 30 and I would be perfectly happy, because I am taking time to really make sure I'm involving myself with people or a person, one person. But that has helped me with my lamentations, like looking at people that are in the situation that I think I want, and very quickly I was like, no, I don't need to be married right this second. I can take my time and actually build something with someone where I know the life that we're going to have is going to make me happy, like long term, and not just like, oh, I want to be married, I want to be a wife just to have a ring and a husband and be like, oh,
I'll get you a ring. I can't give you the husband, but I can get you a ring.
You see, I can get myself a ring.
You understand?
So the things I was wanting weren't actually that serious. Whereas now, my perspective on marriage and what it is and what it means and how important it is more serious. So I'm doing things more intentionally and thoughtfully, and my lamentations just showed me I was just daydreaming. It was just a daydream. It wasn't that serious.
Coming back to what you said, somewhere in the midst of all that, you spoke about how societal pressure dictates your accomplishments based on your age. Yeah. And that could also, I think, lead to why we have such lamentations in our life. Most people by now would have boyfriends, would be on their way to getting engaged, would be moved out of their parents' house, you'd be paying for a car, you'd be looking at houses with your spouse, with your partner. And here we are,
sitting,
2 single Pringles,
sitting at home
in a closet,
recording a podcast.
And you kind of then, like we said a few episodes ago, there's always this comparison factor. But then you also kind of have to be very aware of the fact that there is a societal expectation. Yeah. And that, I think, is also where some of the lamentation comes from.
That is true.
Is that, I am 23 and I'm single. I am 23 and I am freelancing. I'm not in a solid job. I'm not in a corporate job either. Yeah. I'm in a creative industry. I'm doing fashion design of all things. And she doesn't have a man? Where's her worth? Where's her this? Where's her that? Yeah. What? She's living with her parents. Ew. What do you mean? You kind of now have all these different expectations and opinions coming into your brain, and you can't help but listen to at least one of them. Yeah. And I honestly applaud the person who can turn the other cheek and say, well, I'm not listening to that. That's rubbish. That doesn't apply to me. Yeah.
Can't relate.
I would love to be that person, but I'm not. And I think we also, not necessarily to put all the blame on society, but at least it is an explanation as to why you may lament and why you may feel a sense of loss. Because you look at potentially people around you, potentially your parents, potentially people portrayed in TV series and online and all these different places, and they're all where society expects them to be. Society doesn't gauge your happiness.
Of course.
It gauges your success.
Yeah.
And when you aren't fitting into society's role for you, that is not a one-size-fits-all. It's not a cookie-cutter role. It's not. Now, here you are, a blob in a cookie-cutter, and you're not conforming to the shape. You don't know what to do. Society doesn't know what to do with you, and you're left here, just in the midst. That was very passionate.
It was very passionate, but it was also, like, so true. Like, I literally was just listening to you, and I was like, valid.
She's so wise.
Valid. And I was like, that is so true, because, like, we don't do this to ourselves. I mean, of course, we allow those thoughts, and we then focus on them.
Yeah.
However, like, ultimately, society
sucks.
But at the same time, I think also realizing that there is no one right way to do things. So there are other people that had really, really hard or crappy, like, early life, but they started to become successful 40s, 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
And
Oprah, was she one of them?
Didn't she start acting quite young though? So there is no, like, right time to do anything with your career, with your marriage, with your apartment.
Take a shot.
Yeah, there is no one right time. So I think sometimes it's just hard because, you're living right now.
Yeah.
And you're like, but right now, that's what I want, So just, like, shifting your perspective into, I don't need to have everything figured out. And I don't need to be where society thinks I should be. Same thing with the whole kids thing, for example, right? Like, when I was younger, I thought I wanted to be a mom because, society puts it in your brain, like, girls and women, they grow up to be moms and wives, and some people just don't want to be married, and that's perfectly okay. Some people, like me, don't want kids, and that was a really difficult thing. Actually, when it comes to that, it also makes me, when I say lamenting the life I will never have, this is the perfect example for me about how I don't want kids. So I may change my mind. Who knows? Who knows? God works in mysterious ways. But for now, I don't see myself being a parent because of, like, other experiences I've had and stuff like that. But then I had to mourn that life because I grew up. And every time I would hear, oh my gosh, you're going to be such a good mom. Oh my gosh, when you're a mom, when we're moms together, our kids are going to be friends. Like, I grew up thinking I was going to be a parent. And then I sat down and really thought about it. And I'm like, do I even want kids? I don't enjoy children. There's nothing wrong with them. I like when they're around and they're being cute. Yeah, that's fine,
But the nice thing about other people's kids is that you can give them back.
Exactly, you return them. Now when it's your own, what are you gonna do? Yeah,
you can't give them back.
Give them back. When they irritate you, you have to teach them to be better. Like, you have to do all those things, and I just don't want to do that. And it's not like I can't. If I got pregnant right now, I feel like I'd be a good mom, but I don't want to. Yeah. It's not something that I want to dedicate my life. And most women, like, make being a mom their whole life and their whole personality, and I don't want to do that either. If you don't do that, now you're not a good woman, you're not a good mom. Like, there's no winning. Now, if I don't want kids, it's always, you're going to change your mind one day, but when they're yours, it's different. And I had to mourn all of that. Like, I may never have someone call me mom, and it feels foreign because all I knew growing up was, I have to be a mom because I'm
other
woman.
People say it.
Because other women, because other people say it. And then I was just like, but I don't want that for me. I felt like I was wrong. I felt like I was crazy for not wanting kids. And I had to mourn that life because I thought I wanted it until I realized I didn't. And it's something I might never experience. And it's so hard because everyone is gaslighting me and making me feel like I'm insane for not wanting what society thinks I should have. So I had to lament the life I will never have.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, how about you? Have you ever thought about maybe what you felt pressured to do or to be, and that you just now think, I have no interest in that, and it makes you feel, I don't know, sad or confused I don't know.
I don't think there's any, like, one big thing. I love and adore my mom. I really do, because the number one thing she would always say to us was, do what makes you happy. She never, like, pressured us. She was always like, if you want a child but you don't want a husband, we can make that happen. Medical technology has, surpassed any expectations. We can make it happen. She was like, if you want a husband but no kids, that's okay. And so every societal expectation that was ever put on us, she told us, I will help you. And I will teach you how to navigate whatever it is you don't want. She was like, if you wake up and it's your wedding day and you don't want to get married, I'll drive the car. She told us that straight. She literally was like, whatever it is that's going on, I will always be there to help you. And so for me, I've never felt like there was one thing that I knew was never going to happen and I regretted or lamented that specific aspect.
I'm willing right now. It was the opposite for me.
Yeah.
Because, I had to really ram it into my parents' head that I could decide to not be a parent. And they really were not okay with that. Like, initially when I brought it up, they were just like, no. And I was like, you already have like 5 grandkids from my other siblings. Like, what do you need mine for? They were like, no, but we need yours. And I was like, why? You're going to see them 2-3 times a year.
Yeah.
And the rest of the time, they're my problem. So, like, why would I suffer so that you can be happy for a week 3 times a year? Absolutely not. So I had to, like, I had to ram it into their heads that it's okay for me to not be a parent. Look at the economy. Look at the way, like, the world is going. Why would I bring someone into that? Like, I have valid reasons to not have kids. And even if I just didn't want, just for the sake of not wanting, it was so hard for them to accept it. And then I think that made it hard for me to accept that I don't want them.
Yeah.
And I think if I hadn't gotten on the other side of that, I would probably in the future choose to have kids when I know I don't want them. Then that's a whole, like, now I'm traumatizing someone else because I resent my kids for being there, and just a whole nother thing. But I'm really glad that you grew up with, like, being told that both options are viable, both options are okay.
Yeah. No,
I like that.
I really don't take the way that my mom raised us for granted, because yes, there were flaws, but for the most part,
There always are.
They always are. Like, no one is ever perfect. No parent is ever perfect. And if you have a parent that always is like, I never want to be like my parents, they are still going to have their own faults and mistakes, because 100%. Now they are navigating uncharted territory.
Because your mom has never been a mom to a 22-year-old in 2023.
You understand? Exactly.
So it's different.
Yeah. The way that she was raised and the way that she raised us is not the same. But that doesn't mean that the way that she raised us is perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very grateful for it. I actually wanted to say, or ask more. I know that we said you were going to lead this.
No, go ahead.
But I do, like, this thing came to my mind. It was, with all this lamenting and with all this, like, feeling of loss and with all these societal expectations, if your past 10-year-old self was standing in front of you, do you think that they would be proud of where you are, despite all the lamenting and loss and societal expectations?
You've been really loving the younger self.
Sorry,
these last 2 episodes.
Do you want me to say, like, yesterday?
No. I just think it's funny.
Because the thing is, because think about it. Kids are brutal, dude. Kids are so brutal, whether you know them or whether you don't.
I don't know what my 10-year-old... I can barely remember what I was doing at 10, to be honest.
Really? Okay.
10-year-old self is the one that had all these expectations, right? So if you think about it, right now, as, like, I'm 27 now, I don't have such hectic expectations anymore. Like, I've moved past that.
Okay.
Besides the apartment.
She wants the apartment, guys.
I want the apartment so badly.
Maybe we should start not a GoFundMe, a Patreon.
A Patreon, just so we can fund my apartment.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. No, but I mean, and that one isn't really unrealistic. It is attainable. It's just not really the best financial decision I could make for myself
currently,
right now.
Yeah.
So, and I value that over living alone. Like, ultimately, I have a good life, and I don't need it. I just want it. Anyway, 10-year-old self is the one who had these delusions of grandeur, kind of like.
Okay.
10-year-old self is the one who thought she wanted to get married at 24 because she saw a rom-com, you know.
Okay.
And 10-year-old self is the one who thought she would be a millionaire at 22 for whatever odd reason. If my actual 10-year-old self were to see me, she'd be so disappointed. She'd be like, girl, What
You
are
fumbled the
doing?
bag.
Truly, like, we should be rich. We should have 3 kids and a cute husband and a mansion. But if 18-year-old self were to see me now, she would be so proud.
Yeah.
So proud of where I'm at. I am in an industry I love the fashion industry so much. We have a long way to go to fix it, but that's a story for another day.
Yes.
But I love the industry I'm in, the friends I have.
Yeah.
The, like, life I have. It's not perfect. And if I were to, like, rewrite my life, I would obviously add all these, like, cool things. But I'm so blessed to be where I'm at. And 18-year-old Sophie, would be extremely proud of me right now.
I love that.
Yeah. What about you? 10-year-old Michaela, Plate Michaela.
Oh, Plate Michaela was like 3 years later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Plate Michaela, 10-year-old Michaela, sorry, would be very shocked.
Really?
Yeah. Number one, shocked that I even take medication for my mental health. I think she'd be like, what's wrong with you? Aren't you fine? Well, I'm fine now. What did you do to us in the meantime?
Did something, didn't you?
And I think she would be, again, shocked that I don't have no, she wouldn't be shocked that I don't have a boyfriend.
Really?
She wouldn't. The thing is, 10-year-old me did not have the best confidence. So she'd be like, you don't have cats? You're not a cat lady? That's strange.
10-year-old me thought she was the hottest thing since sliced bread. Like, if I could get 10-year-old me's confidence, I'd be on top of the world.
If I could get 10-year-old you's confidence, I'd also be happy.
If everyone could get 10-year-old Sophie's confidence, that would be lovely. I don't know where it went. Society.
But yeah, so I think 10-year-old me would just be shocked at, number one, how I look.
Yes. Okay, yes, that is true. That is true.
And number two, just the way that I've handled things and the way that I've grown. And then if 18-year-old me could look at me, she'd be like, wow, just everything that I've accomplished. And the way that I've gone about life and the experiences I had. And as much as there was all this anxiety and overthinking, I never really held myself back from anything. You know, and if something held me back, it was not my own choice. So I think she'd be like, wow, you did it. Everything that you ever wanted to do. Because I've always wanted to, like, do something, whether it was a YouTube or a podcast or become an influencer. We're here now, you know? Yeah. And she'd be so amazed, I think, that, like, you actually had the courage to do that.
Yeah.
But she'd call me stupid. She would call me stupid just for allowing myself into situations that could have been avoided.
Well, I feel like that's a part of growing up, right? Like, I look back and I'm also like, what the hell was I thinking? Like, there were some things that I was just like, girl, come on, really? Chelsea, come on now. Anyway, but yeah, so let us know what you have been lamenting. Like, if there are any parts of life that, you know, you wish you had, and
any experiences as well.
Whether you still feel that way now that you're older and wiser and know better. And please do rate our podcast. Give us a 5-star rating, guys.
That is so cringe. Oh my word.
Do you want the rating or no?
No, I don't. I want a natural progression. I don't want do it because we are.
Okay, you can cut it out. Cut it out of the
No, I'm not gonna.
No, you're gonna, because you're 2 fingers on the temple. You're stressed out. Cut it out.
I won't cut it.
But if you want to, Michaela's cringing. But you will never get an answer if you don't ask. Please do give us a 5-star rating.
Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and click that bell to get notification. It's giving that.
It is that. That's the point. We do want more people to listen to us ramble on. We're not going to argue about this.
No, but also don't click the 5-star just because we told you.
Yeah, I mean,
click whatever rating you feel. But if you give us a 1, we will find you.
So then they must click the 5.
No, anything 2 and above is okay.
It should fade out into us arguing about